Hello and welcome to section 7.6. We're going to be working with systems of linear inequalities today. Here are the solutions to 7.5. Let me know if you guys have any questions on the special systems. Alright, so here's our objective for the day. We're going to be solving systems of linear inequalities in two variables. So we've studied linear inequalities in two variables, but now we're going to do systems. And we're actually going to start off with this word problem tomorrow in class. So we're just going to start with the basics today, and then we'll get into the word problem tomorrow. Alright, so basically what we're going to be doing, to give you guys a quick overview, is we're going to graph two lines. And these were some of those where sometimes they had to be dotted, and then we would shade underneath or above it. And then you'd have another line. I should use different color. Have another line, and you'd maybe shade above it. Okay, and then what we do is what we're looking for where this region overlaps this area right in here. So this would be the solution set basically. So any point within this region would be a solution to the system. So we can check to see whether an ordered pair is a solution. Two different ways. One method is graph it and see if it falls within that region. The other method is to plug in the ordered pair into each inequality and see if it works. So let's check 6, -5. So we have 6 minus -5. Is that greater than 7? That'd be 11 is greater than 7. That's true. And let's check the other one. 12 plus -5 less than 8. That's 7 is less than 8. That is true. So this point here would be a solution to the system. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to solve each one for y, just like we've always been doing. Then we're going to graph them. And then we're going to do some shading. The intersection is the solution. The intersection of the shaded. I should be specific. Of the shaded areas. Okay. These are both solved for y. That's great. So this one has a y-intercept of -2. Slope is -1/1. And I will be using a dotted line for this one. Okay, and since it says greater than, I'm going to shade above. So this would be the area. And you can use colored pencils for this if you'd like. Sometimes that helps students. I like to use different colors on my smartboard so that you guys can see each line. This one has a y-intercept of 6 for the second one. And then it's up 3/1. Or I can go down 3, backwards 1. And unlike the rest of this chapter, it's not where the two lines cross at. I'm going to use a solid line for this, by the way. It's where their regions, their shaded regions overlap. So this one's less than, so I'm going to shade below the line. And now you can tell where the region is. So if I use a different color, it's this region right in here where they overlap. This is my solution set. So any point in this region will be a solution to this system. Here we have some vertical and horizontal lines. So I'm going to use 3 different colors for this one because there's 3. You can have as many lines as you'd like actually. Y is less or greater than or equal to -1. That's going to be a solid line going through the y-axis, not the x-axis, at -1. I'm a little off there, that's okay. And then I'm going to shade this one above. So what I like to do is I just like to put my indications. I don't need to go crazy with my shading until I'm all done. X is less than -2, so that one's going to be a vertical line. And this one I'm going to use dotted. Oops, I should use a different color here. Let's use this one here. And it says greater than, so that means I'm going to be shading to the right. So I'm not going crazy with my shading just yet. And then my last one, I'll use green. Green doesn't work very well. How about brown? let's just go with black, I guess. This one I'm going to solve for y. Okay, so my y-intercept is at positive 2, and the slope is negative 1 over 2, so it's down 1 over 2. And for this one, I'm going to be using a solid line. Okay, and this one, y is less than, so I'm going to shade this one below. And hopefully you see this region right here. It's this triangular region. So I'm going to use purple, I guess. So this region right in here is where all three of them are going to overlap. And this would be my solution set in there. So there you go. Here's another example. Basically the same, except for these are both solved for y. I'll do this one quickly. Negative 4 is my y-intercept. My slope is 1 over 1. So down 4. And then slope is 1 over 1. Check to see if I need a solid or a dotted line. This one I need a dotted line. And then check to see which way I'm going to shade. Y is less than, so I'm going to shade this one below. And go up top again, positive 3. This one has a slope of negative 1 over 1. And we're going to shade this one above. I should check to see if it's a solid or a dotted line. This one's a solid line, so I should fix that quick. Okay, and then this over here is my overlapping region over on the right-hand side here. So these points here would be my solution. Now note, dotted line, not part of solution. So, all right, I'm not going to do any more examples. These are all pretty much the same thing. This one is different, though. I'm going to write the system given the solution. So I have to write the equation of these two lines. So I'm going to start with the horizontal line. That one only goes to the y, and it's shading above, so it's y is greater than or equal to 3. That's this blue line right there. And then I'm going to do the red one now. The red one is shading above as well, and it's a dotted line, so I'm going to use greater than. The y-intercept is at 1, so I have a plus 1, and the slope is up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. So 2 over 1x, or just 2x. And that would be the system. So you'll see that in your homework. You got to work backwards and write the equations. So in other words, what is the solution to a system of linear inequalities? It's simply an infinite number of coordinate points. It's a bunch of points, and that's what this shaded region is all about. Here is your assignment. Keep in mind, 28 I have as marked as a challenge question, and 34 and 35. Those are really cool questions if you want to try, go above and beyond. So, and then we're going to do some word problems tomorrow. Thanks, guys, for